Gratitude, family. Gratitude. Making sure everything is working correctly. Making sure everything is working correctly. All right. I'm back. I'm back, family. Peace and blessings, peace and love. Greetings. I hope all you guys have been doing well. Hope you guys have been doing well. I've been doing well, family. Peace and love, peace and blessings. Let's see. All right. I was just about to say, we'll wait till we get 100 people in here. Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Gratitude, gratitude. Let me start out by saying my mantra. My words create my world, and my world is bright. So as I speak, let there be light. My words create my world, and my world is bright. So as I speak, let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light. Fiat Lux. I forgot to do that on my last live stream, fam. We are back. I got some important things to talk to you guys about. All right. I got some things I want to talk to you guys about as far as moving forward and evolution. Okay. So we're going to get into it today, family. We are going to get into it today. All right. This is some very important information. If you're on my Patreon, you'll be getting a deeper explanation of this. You guys have already gotten 2 of these, and I'm going to be giving a deeper explanation of this in the Patreon. But I'm going to give the YouTube family an overall understanding of what internal formulas are and help you guys understand and move accordingly. Because we are in a time where it's time for magic to evolve, and it's time for 4th dimensional magic, right? And we're talking about magic on a new frequency, okay? So welcome to 2025, family. This is my first live stream for 2025. We made it. A lot of people didn't make it, but here we are in 2025, family. We are grateful, right? We are grateful, family, okay? For anybody, I want to say this too, because I know at this moment, all of my tribal members are watching for the most part. So I want to say anybody who's in the tribe, go download the CTRE Codex, right? The CTRE Codex, over 190 pages. You guys get a free PDF of this, over 190 pages of information, all right? 190 pages of information. I want to ask you guys, if you're a tribe member, don't hesitate, download it. It's a great tool to explain our culture and how we move as a tribe, all right? The CTRE Codex, the Star Codex, all right? And that's for tribal members only. It's not available to the public. It is only for tribal members. Once again, a book I wrote, over 190 pages. If you're a tribal member, go get that. It is important that you get that, okay? It is important that you get that, family. I see my people are in here, so we're gonna get started. Please, everybody, watch the negative comments, all right? Because they will snipe you. They will kick you out, all right? So we're grateful, and we're gonna move forward, family, all right? So today, family, we're gonna be talking about internal formulas, okay? And this is very important as we move forward into the 4D, right? And as we move forward in 4D family, we have to understand the vibration is changing. Okay? The vibration is changing, which means that magic is not that it has to change, but it has to evolve. We have to do magic differently because we don't necessarily need the same tools to evolve as we once did before, family. Okay? We don't necessarily need the same tools to evolve, to do magic as we once did in the 3D. You can still use 3D stuff and it works, but the world hasn't been exposed to a different way of, working with the elements that can also manifest things in your life. I haven't personally done a ritual in probably 2 years. Well, I can't say that. I've done spell work, but rituals as far as manifesting for my life, I haven't done those type of rituals in a while because I've been doing internal alchemy. I have been doing rituals with my own body and my own mind to manifest. It's more than just your mind. Your mind is a part of that, but there's more to it, family. Okay? There's more to the story. There's more to it. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. All right? That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Okay? And we're going to get into it, family. We are going to get into it. All right? So, in this lifetime, we have been taught a style of magic that teaches us to depend on third dimensional elements. Physical earth, physical air, physical fire, physical water is usually the only elements we know, right? In this picture, I like to put up pictures that have meaning. You see the sister working her magic with the fire in the background. She is using earth to manifest what she needs, all right? True elemental magic goes beyond the 3D. And there are 2 ways to accomplish this, right? So we're going to do these slides. I want to give you guys a something you can use for internal alchemy to do your own ritual, the beginning stages of it. And then we're going to do some Q&A. All right, family? And then we'll get to some Q&A. Okay? So I want you guys to understand this. All right? And I want you guys to get an understanding, right? And then you guys get an understanding is very important. The first way is to learn to enter the elemental kingdom and personally learn from the elemental kings and queens. Now, for those who don't know, magicians, high-level magicians know this. If you really want to work with elementals and use first of all, let me start with this. If you're working with elementals, it's a goal of working with elementals. They're just not going to give you their magic, right? The goal of working with elementals truly is to eventually get close enough to them where you can learn, okay? Where you can learn from their schools and you can learn how to use the elements on a higher evolved way. The whole point of the elemental magic is to work with the elementals to appear worthy enough to learn in their schools. First of all, the elementals don't like us. I want to make that very clear. They don't like humans and they don't trust humans. All right? I want to make that very clear, family. So next time you make a fairy altar, you need to have this in mind. The whole goal of you making these altars, or a gnome altar or a brownie altar, right? Recently I've been working with brownies. The brownies are actually easier accessible than the gnomes, earth elementals, by the way. They don't trust you. They don't trust you. They don't like you. And that is because over time of humans using them in the wrong way. And that's why they only come around children and they make themselves known to children. But if you're lucky enough to catch them in a state where you are under some type of psychedelic, you can catch these elementals. Okay, you can catch these elementals if you're under the influence of some type of psychedelic. You can see past their vibratory shields. Right? They don't even come to this earth unless they have on their vibratory shields. You can see past the vibratory shields, okay, if you are under some type of psychedelics, or if you have the eye to see, or if you have eyes to see. But sometimes they can even block that, right? They can block that too. But 99% of them just use regular blockage because they know 99% of humans can't see, right? Can't see them. But once again, the whole point of the elemental magic is to work with the elementals to appear worthy enough to learn in their schools. You got to get your mind right. You got to get your heart right, right? In the medieval times, magicians would trap elementals and steal their power. Okay? This is another reason why elementals and people and elementals don't trust people. Because in medieval times, the magicians didn't even try to work with the high elementals, right? Because they do have priests, but usually only the kings and queens. They give you the information, they give you the power, they grant you the power. The kings and the queens of the elemental kingdoms, right? So you can connect to the elements, yes, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But at the same time, family, yes, and if you're lucky enough, see somebody said they're a child of Lord Pan, and if you were lucky enough to have a spiritual parent that you're connected with, they can probably give you access to some of the stuff as well. But when you're coming up in magic schools and you're coming up in magic, the first thing you got to do is master the elements. You master them inside yourself, and then if you're in a high enough school, they'll take you to work with some of these elemental beings. Some of these elemental beings appear even as humans. Okay? They appear even as humans. So at the end of the day, family, I want you guys to understand that concept. They don't like you. I don't care how much you smile and how positive you try to be. They don't trust humans. So the whole point of having an altar, once again, is to get them to trust you. And they still have a problem with that sometimes, because that's how medieval people caught elementals and trapped them. They got them to trust them, and then they would trap them and they would steal their power. And they will gain power. The magicians of old will gain power like that by stealing and killing off elementals. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that very important part. I wanted to stop on this part and help you guys understand that. Yes, you should work with altars and fairy altars and work with gnomes. I like gnomes. I like earth elements. Even though I'm a water element, the earth elementals, to me, they're stubborn, the earth elementals, but they always seem very easy to access. In my opinion, the water element is the hardest to access and control. So, I want you guys to understand that key point, family. If you're going to work with elementals, your job is to appear worthy to them. Okay? Worthy to them. Some people may ask, why am I putting up these pictures of black gnomes? Because you're looking at the real gnomes. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Yes. And it's not about them being black and African. I've personally, when I've interacted with gnomes, yes, I've seen some that look European, but the vast majority of gnomes look like old black men and old black women. Actually, the gnomes, the women don't even really show themselves. It's very rare that you see a woman gnome. But the men gnomes, they look like old black men, even in their younger age. And I'm thinking that's because they can live for hundreds and hundreds of years, from my understanding, hundreds of years. They're not immortals, but they can live for hundreds and hundreds of years, 800, 600, 700, 800 years. Okay? And so by the time they turn 80, they're looking old, and they just keep that old look. But they can still be young and look old, if that makes sense. Okay? So I love this picture because this picture is showing a mother with her child, right? And it's almost like this gnome is reaching in, trying to tell her a secret. That's why I like this picture, right? The baby looking up, trying to get the knowledge, right? And the mom is absorbing it. And the gnome is trying to tell her something that, hey, I ain't supposed to be telling you this, but I'm going to tell you this, all right? So the second way to get this understanding is to realize the truth. The truth is that all elementals are nothing but advanced thought forms, right? We got to be honest about this thing. Elementals are nothing but thought forms, okay? There are nothing but advanced thought forms. Keep that in mind, because some thought forms are very powerful, and these are one. They're not thought forms from us. They're thought forms from the actual matrix itself. I told you guys, and some of y'all, you know, that's why I don't share a lot of information I learned in the spirit world, because sometimes it's too much for people to believe. If it's not written in the book, and I'm not against that. You should get book knowledge. But I try to share things I learned in the astral plane with people. Like when I talked about Lucifer, right? That's hidden information. But at the same time, elementals are thought forms of Mother Earth. They are her thought forms. She thought them into existence. The matrix of Mother Earth itself thought these things into existence. I want you guys to understand that, okay? So the truth is that all elementals are nothing but advanced thought forms, and their power already exists inside your body. And you can turn them on in stages. The air element, even though I like the earth element, the air element is the easiest element to work with first. And one thing I get people to do in my Patreon is to make a cloud disappear. Right? I put a video of it up in Patreon, making the cloud disappear. You know, I'm really about some magic, family, right? And I understand magic is evolution. It's not about spells. It's about mystical, turning on your mystical mind, your mystical energy. And not saying you're a god, but becoming a god, really becoming one. So if you want to master the air element, there's some things you got to get right first, but I recommend trying to make a cloud disappear. Commanding a cloud to disappear. Right? And I showed you that a video from 2010, me doing that from 2010. But today we will learn how to use this science to manifest. Unwind the elements within your higher mind is the beginning of 4D magic. Notice I said higher mind, family. And we're going to get to what the higher mind is, because some of y'all don't want to evolve. Everybody, what they say, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. You have to die to your old self. I'm not who I was 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm not the same person. I become better in my heart, better in my mind, better in my understanding of the world around me. I become a better person. You cannot choose to be who you are and say, that's just who I am. No, you're lying to yourself. That's the ego. That's how I know that's not who you are, because you've been here many times. And if you're into spirituality, you can't even be spiritual unless you're an advanced soul. Younger souls don't even look at spirituality. They're stuck in religion. They're educators. They're stuck into the system, and they're stuck in religion. That is a younger soul. Older souls naturally pull themselves towards spirituality. So don't sit here and lie to yourself as a spiritual person and say, I am who I am. This is where I'm supposed to be. No, you're lying to yourself. Because who you are today is not who you were it's not who your soul really is. It's because of your traumas, right? It's because of your traumas that you think and accept who you are. Okay? Don't lie to yourself, family. And I keep reiterating these things. I'm one of the first teachers on YouTube to start forcing people to live principles, spiritual principles. Everybody can't do it. It's hard for some people, but it has to be done, right? It has to be done, family, if you want to really develop the right mind to manifest. These entities will not trust you if you secretly a negative person. They can tell. Smiling don't work on them. Smiling doesn't work on them. They can go into your dreams. They can see the real you. They know if you're a fraud. They know if you're not a good person, right? They know these things. So what I'm saying is really transforming, right? Really transforming can get you involved with these entities. That's what we're talking about, family. All right, let's move forward. Very important to understand, okay? And these are some of the things I touched before, but some of y'all didn't read the books and get the information in these books, but it's very important. Internal formulas are a technique using your internal elements to have an effect on the outer elements. I'm going to read that again. Internal formulas are a technique using your internal elements. That's right. Earth, air, fire, water exists inside you. Now, metal has been exchanged with air in a sense. Metal. Still the same concept, though. Right? So earth, air, fire, water, right? And spirits. Right? Spirit will be more of a water from a Chinese perspective, from an Asian perspective, cultural perspective. Water will go more into spirit, and metal will be more of air. But if you do the research and you study, you'll get the understanding. Okay? You will get the understanding, and you will see that all this stuff is important, family. All this stuff is important. But you must first learn to spot, feel, and manipulate the elements within you using your mind, family. All right? This is very important. Very important. We're going to talk about two different types of stars here. All right? The first star is the pentagram. In 3D, we are using the elements of nature to manifest with the 5 elements. But if you didn't know you need to attach the earth element, then it would barely work. Once again, there's not a lot of people that talk about that, family, or talk about it enough. If you're using the 5 elements to manifest, and you will be spirit. So let's say the 4 elements, right? If you're using the 4 or 5 elements to manifest, if you don't understand the concept that you need to attach what you're trying to manifest to the earth element, right? And I gave y'all keys on that back in the past, right? Of how to do that. It's a lot of ways to do that, actually. So if you don't know you need to attach to an earth element, then you don't know how to manifest. You can still manifest, but you're going to manifest in a slower way. Okay? You're going to manifest in a slower way. Somebody said, Brother Joseph, can you give your opinion about the drones I've been seeing around? Well, family, we kind of want to move past that. All right? So a lot of people out there already doing videos on the government. I did my videos on. You know what I'm saying? The Trump stuff, you know, what they got coming. I might touch on it later. I'm going to answer some questions. I'll be nice and touch on it later. Y'all know what I'm about. I'm about evolution, moving forward, and spirituality. So that's a great question. That's a good question, Star Catcher. That's a good question. But we want to focus on evolution. The drones will not save you, and they will not destroy you either. Right? You need to understand what type of world you're living in, which you're going to. The frequency is changing to more of a 4D frequency. You know what I'm saying? So you need to focus on yourself over the drones. And I know about all that stuff. I hear you. But we got to focus on the drones. I mean, we got to focus on this magic, family, and evolution, spirituality, so we can move forward. All right. So if you don't know to attach the earth element to your manifestations, then your manifestations will manifest, but they will manifest very slowly. Right? Very slowly, family. In a 4D frequency, we use the internal elements that are connected to the astral energies to create with our mind. You kind of know what this is. When I did not the quantum body, the digital cyber sorcery. This is actually like an intro to cyber sorcery. Cyber sorcery was a little bit ahead of its time, but at the same time, this is where you need to understand first to make cyber sorcery work better for you. Believe it or not. This is where you need to work on to make cyber sorcery work better for you, family. Right? Very, very important. Okay? In a 4D frequency, we can use the internal elements that are connected to the astral energies to connect with our mind. Okay? And so in magic, y'all, we always use the pentagram to represent using the earth elements. Remember, physical earth, physical air, physical water, blah, 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 physical fire, you know. We've been using those things to manifest, and it works. But in the 4D frequency, your mind is not right. You won't manifest because it's all going to be about your mind, right? Not just mind, but having the right heart. Having the right heart, family. All this stuff is important, okay? The hexagram is the unity of all the elements and the union between male and female. You're going to have to get more associated with this star. Okay? In some cultures, they say this star is the Star of David. In some ways, this symbol could be religious, right? It could be a religious symbol. In some areas, it could just be a sacred geometry symbol, right? It could represent the Merkaba, you know, from a 4D perspective, and it is a Merkaba from a 4D perspective. Because that Merkaba can it could become your body, you know, or it could become, you can transport things back and forth. You can put things in a Merkaba, and you can transport things back and forth through this star, right? Or this energy ball. So you have earth, air, fire, water, and then you have male and female. Once again, this is the in the fourth dimension. You're going to need to start dealing with this geometry. You're going to need to start dealing with this science, because this is the 4 elements combined with the male and female. What is this? What is this star really saying? It can also be used as a clock, right? And on a higher level of learning, the Star of David is also a clock, if you understand it. But at the same time, you're looking at sexual intercourse. You're looking at the males' 4 elements mixing with the females' 4 elements for creation. And in the very center, at the bottom, you see the hexagram with the yellow spot in the middle. That yellow spot in the middle, family, is the sun, right? It's the sun. Let me see if I got another picture of that. Okay, yeah, it's the sun. But that sun is also SUN and SON, right? The 6-pointed star is the star that is needed is the new star that is needed for the astral magic. Okay. The hexagram is often seen as a symbol of balance, with 2 overlapping triangles representing opposing forces, male and female, opposing forces. The upward triangle typically represents masculine. Now, in some circles, Mars will be on top and Jupiter will be on the side. I've seen those in some circles, right? The upward triangle pointing triangle simply represents the masculine energy, fire or spirit, while the downward pointing triangle symbolizes feminine energy, water or matter, which is the moon, you know. And in some circles that will be flipped around at the bottom as well. That will be Venus. All depending on what school you go to. You know what I'm saying? But the center, the gold in the center, the sun that is birthed from 2, right? Right? And I hate to say it, but I don't hate to say it, but it's the truth. The brother, what's the brother name that say 1 + 1 is 3? He's 100% right. 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 and 1 is 3. If you take a male and a female and you really not stand by side each other, if you really put a male and female, you merge them together, you'll get 3. You'll get a child. Terrence Howard, thank you. The brother Terrence Howard is right. I want to say this, and this goes into a lot of history we're reading, but we still need to read this stuff to understand it. Everything you've been taught is a lie. Everything. Even some of the magic we've been taught has been watered down magic in some of these books that ain't really giving you nothing. History is a lie. The vast majority of it, right? So this is what they do. They put a little bit of truth in there and they spread lies. History, there was a whole civilization in the world in America way before the Native Americans came over. It's so funny how they have no information on the Olmecs. They'll say there's no information on the Olmecs. We just know they was rubber people. But you give everything to the Mayans and the Toltecs and the Aztecs, and even say they built these pyramids, even though the pyramids predate them as a people. See, there's a hidden history, you know, and these people are doing this. I used to get offended and say this is racism, right? But then I started realizing something as I talked to higher beings. They told me it ain't racism. They really don't care about either race, right? They really don't care about either race. What they care about is having power, so they put the races against each other. So what they want you to think is that at the top there's just these bunch of white folks that just doing all this. Yes, it's true to a certain extent, but at the same time, family is deeper than that. There's really entities that's not from this timeline that's manipulating us to fight so they can stay in control. They want you to hate other people so they can stay in control. This is very important to understand, right? Very important to understand. So this is the new star that you guys have to get associated with, not this exact color, but just a symbol in general. Study this symbol, understand this symbol. This is the new pentagram. This is the new magical, and I'll be getting more deeper into the science of this star, because in the higher levels, especially in high magic, this is what they use. They don't use the pentagram. You can use it if you want to use physical earth, physical air, physical fire. Right? That's right. It's not about supremacy. It's about power. And I had to really, my brain had to really have an epiphany about that, because I've been trained to think it's about race. And that's why I have an issue with this young brother. I mean, this brother, what's his name, coming up with the traditional black, whatever it is, and he's going against Fat Joe. That almost seemed a little, you know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like somebody trying to keep the separation going. You got to be careful with that. We don't want to keep the separation going. We want the truth to come out. So I want all Europeans to understand, if I start talking about a lot of black stuff, I'm just reiterating the truth that everybody has to deal with. So if I say most gnomes look black, that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I know we grew up on movies and none of the gnomes are black, but the truth is, you know what I mean? So yes, shout out to brother Tyreek. You know, he do his thing, but I don't like the way that goes, because what's it, foundational black Americans, they call them? It's almost like there's another layer of separation. Now you're separating foundational black Americans with Caribbean people and African people. Separation. Anytime you see separation, God is not the author of confusion. And I know we got some black power people on here. That's cool. I ain't against you. I'm just saying that we got to get away from that separation thing. That keeps them in power. The people that run this world. And this is very important that you guys understand this stuff. You need to heal yourself. Get used to feeling positive emotions over negative emotions. Once again, family, you need to heal yourself. Here goes a picture with a bunch of people. Everybody got an attitude. Right? Everybody got a problem with everybody else. This is what they want us to walk around looking like every day. It's what they want your face to look like. Smiling is corny. If you smile too much, you're a cornball. Being nice and you don't want to be nice. Nice means, you're a fool. But being respectable and being joyful and being kind and having being positive is negative. That's what they want people to think. Right? It's corny. It's weird. Okay? That's what they want people to think. The problem is, the reason why some people can't smile more, right, or be happy, and they think it's weird, because of their trauma. They've been through trauma, and it's okay. It's okay. We all go through trauma. But the goal is to get past the trauma, family. Right? You want to get over and get past the trauma so you can evolve, because if you want to really get down with these fairies and get down with these elementals, the first things first. I can go to sleep tonight and meet elementals if I want to. They know my heart now. Over the years, I've been slowly integrating with them, and I can meet them. I can go to their forest, right? I can do a lot of things. So my whole thing, family, is if your heart ain't right, you can't fool them. You can't just smile at them and they're going to say, oh, what a nice person. No, they can really read your energy. So you're going to need to heal yourself. We all do. I had to heal myself. I blamed everybody for what happened to me in my life. And when you're grown, you can't blame nobody no more. You have to blame yourself for staying there. It's your choice. So before we move forward, I had to put this in your face. I had to let people know. First thing first, you need to heal yourself. Get used to feeling positive emotions over negative emotions. Anybody can think about something that pisses them off right now. Think about something that makes you angry. Anybody can do that right now. But if I say think about something that brings you joy and happiness, it won't be such a quick response. That's because we're programmed that way. We need to understand that. Okay. So we want to understand, don't just practice gratitude. Be sure to practice smiling more. Learn to smile beyond your traumas. That's how we're supposed to be looking. Everybody mixed together, black, white, Latino, Asian. This ain't got no Asian people in there. Maybe in the back somewhere. I'm pushing unity, family. This is what's supposed to be happening, right? We're supposed to be coming together and we're supposed to be smiling. Be sure to practice smiling more. There's a secret science to smiling. Some of y'all don't know that, right? So it's nice that we practice being grateful. That's good. That's a start. But don't just practice gratitude. Practice smiling. Show them pretty teeth. And if you ain't got no pretty teeth, then don't show your teeth and just smile. It's all good, family. You know what I'm saying? Learn to smile, right? Now, you got to be careful with that because some people still be dealing with a lot of pain and trauma and they smile. But if you get good at smiling, you can tell who's dealing with, that's a trauma smile. But you got to learn to smile beyond that. And smiling will heal you. Smiling will activate things inside you, and smiling can and will heal you. Let's continue. Very important, family. Very important. This is a powerful saying. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. I'll read that again. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. That's why I'm telling y'all, practice smiling. You can actually psychologically make yourself happy more just by smiling. Smile today. Do you believe some people go the whole day and don't smile? They want you to learn to only smile when negative things happen. Y'all see a YouTube video or Instagram or TikTok video when somebody is actually getting beat up or somebody doing something stupid? Yes, that makes us laugh and smile. But we have to learn how to smile. I learned the secret of happiness, y'all. I look for something beautiful every day. Whether it's a beautiful baby, a beautiful flower, a beautiful poem, that makes me happy. If I look for happiness, things that trigger my happiness, I learn how to be happy. And then I think on those things. But once again, we got to be careful because we live in a world where you're corny, you're weird, and it ain't right if you focus on positivity. But this is the mindset you got to have to go into this type of spirituality and magic. You got to have the right heart and mind because they're connected, by the way. The mind is not your brain. The mind is not your brain. I know I'm spending time on these things, but I'm trying to get y'all to please understand because I care about y'all evolution and growth. So the mind is not the brain. The mind is something else, but it's connected to the heart. So get your heart right and get your mind right. Okay. I want to read that one more time. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. That is so true and powerful, family. This is something you guys need to focus on. Your organs are unhappy because we don't give them attention. Your organs are not happy because you're not giving them attention. Are you smiling because you are happy, or are you happy because you are smiling? Either one is fine. Are you smiling because you are happy, or are you happy because you're smiling? Do you guys ever watch the TV show? It was a documentary that came out. It was called What the Bleep Do We Know? What the Bleep Do We Know? Go back and watch that documentary. And there was a lady in there, allegedly, a lady in there who they love shutting off my videos, so I say allegedly. There's a lady in there who actually healed herself from cancer from just being in a positive mindset. having positivity. She started laughing more, and she literally reversed her cancer, allegedly. But it's in a documentary. Go check it out. It's amazing what high emotion. That's why I said in my cyber sorcery lecture, vibrations and frequency will be the new medicine. Actually, Albert Einstein said that. Vibration and frequencies will be the medicine of the future. And I agree with that at 100%. Frequencies and vibrations will be the medicine of the future. Right? So we're going to go over this simple thing again, because some of y'all missed it. And you don't know the power. I practice this daily to this day. Right? So remember, sometimes your organs are unhappy because you don't give them attention. You only need to smile down to transform these energies. Yep, that's the teacher right there, Montauk Chia. Right? You only need to smile down to transform these energies. Anger can be turned into kindness. Fear can be turned into gentleness. Hate can be turned, and I'm telling you, I'll use this stuff. I know it works. Sadness and depression could be turned into courage. That's powerful, because sadness and depression, when it turns into courage, it makes you want to start creating things. It makes you want to do something new in the world. All of a sudden, you have the courage to try something different. And your worry will turn into openness. All you need to do is smile down. So you just sit in the chair, just like this man right here. Sit in the chair. Just like this man right here. Okay? And smile down into your heart. You know where your heart is at. Smile into it. Just literally imagine where your heart is. And you feel the smile in your face. Feel it in your face. Feel the smile. And the energy that comes from smiling, push it down into your throat. Then push it down into your chest and your lungs. Then push it into your heart. That same energy. Push that energy into your spleen, which is the earth element. Push that energy into your kidneys, which is the water element. You will notice things will be different. If you're sick and you're dealing with something, try this practice and see how it turns out for you. Try this practice and see how it turns out for you. All right? You can smile into your organs. This is very important. People don't do this enough, right? I want you guys to get this book right here, Cell Talk. This is the beginning understanding. Sometimes you gotta get I know some of y'all want to go straight to the magic, but sometimes y'all need to get into some of the science to understand more. And Cell Talk, this pretty much, this doctor here talks about the relationship between cell activity and consciousness. Okay, this book talks about the relationship between the cells in your body and your consciousness. Very important. You guys need to talking to yourself. CELL. Then they put an F at the end. Ain't that interesting? SELF could also be CELLF. Talking to yourself, right? Talking to yourself. Talking to yourself. So this is a good book, family. And there's a lot of books that talk about the cells relating to your consciousness. Go look for them, right? I saw this when I used to be a janitor many years ago. And I used to be a janitor. I was a security guard. I was security guard at this nursing home, and I was locking up all the doors. And, you know, as I locked the door up, I saw this one book on somebody's desk, and it was this book right here. You know, the way I go, I was like, oh, interesting. I'm gonna go get that book. And I got the book immediately. I think I ordered it that night. So yes, you guys can get this book. And yeah, I like that. Somebody said, love thyself. CELF. I like that. So the self could also be the cell. And that's really how it is. In my tribe, I teach that, you know, in our book, the CTRA Codex, I teach that the universe is your body. So studying your body is to study the universe. The planets, the stars, everything. So what a coincidence. When we talk about yourself, your cells are you. And just like you can hold energy, your cells can hold energy. So this is very important and very powerful to understand, family. Right? Speaking of cells and making your body respond to you, right? This is one of my favorite movies of all time, Ninja Assassin. Yes, it's bloody. I know it's bloody, it's gory, but it's lessons in this movie, right? There's lessons in this movie. So in the movie, this man gets all cut up by swords and all this stuff, right? And he starts to remember something his teacher told him. He said the body must obey the will of the mind. And as he says this in his head, the body must obey the will of the mind, he starts to put his hands into these different gestures. You know, he starts to move his hands into these different poses that we call mudras. Y'all know Brother Yosef put y'all on the mudras long time ago. So the mudras are very powerful because they open up centers, they open up circuitry in your body, just moving your fingers in these different positions. Now you guys see the Zai mudra at the bottom where it says creation, right? Yeah, now you guys know why I say that. It's a symbol that my tribe uses, but it's also a magical thing. My words create my world, and my world is bright. So as I speak, let there be light. Right? I'm creating something. I'm creating something. Okay? But yes, he puts his hand in these positions, and in the movie, you start to see the cuts in his body start to go, they start to come together. He starts to heal himself from using words, memory, and hand gestures. So I just want you guys, whoever ain't seen that movie, first of all, you're tripping, but you need to go watch it, right? You need to go watch it. Very important. And we're going to get to some Q&A soon. I just wanted to come in here and explain some things to you guys. So kindness, right? So wood is connected to the liver. The stomach is connected to the stomach and the heart, right? It's connected to fire, right? So if you struggle with joy, love, and happiness and appreciation, you feel like you're not being appreciated enough, you have a stomach and a heart issue, right? Excuse me, that's the intestines. So the intestines and the heart, right? Then it goes to the stomach. Then it goes to which is belief and trust. Then it goes to the kidneys, right? The liver and the kidneys. And this is just a cycle inside your body, family, that your organs carry. Like I showed you guys in the Montauk Chia book, it lines up like a pentagram. What if I told you there's a 6 pentagram in your body, right? You can actually turn it to a 6-pointed star. And that's the truth. So this is something you guys need to understand, right? Once again, we see it here just to give you guys deeper understanding. Earth, the stomach, the Indian summer, right? Metal is the lungs. So that will be exchange for air. Okay, metal is the lungs, right? The blood is chi, power. The kidneys is water, which also represents winter. And then we got the female sexual organs, the male sexual organs. What am I really showing you here? I'm showing you aspects of energy you can use for the 6-pointed star, right? But that's a more advanced class. We gonna talk about it. That's a whole nother class. I want to give you guys this understanding though, so you understand what's really going on, right? So don't you know when you ejaculate, you pull from all of your organs to do that? You have to pull life energy from all of your organs just to ejaculate. So if one of your organs are not strong, you don't have a strong ejaculation. You don't have powerful semen. So this is why before you have sexual intercourse, if you're trying to really bring down a higher soul, you have to charge your organs first. Yeah. And that go for the female too. The woman has to charge her organs. I recommend smiling down. And the men should charge their organs. And then you go into the act. And it takes 24 hours for your organs to deplete. So you can charge your organs a couple hours before the sexual intercourse happens. You can charge your organs. And they'll be charged up for at least 24 hours. All right? Important to understand. So this is what I want you guys to do. Sit by yourself quietly. Sit down by yourself and focus on all 5 major organs and charge them. Then focus on what you want to manifest. Okay? Focus on what you want to manifest. Remember, your spleen is the earth element. With white light, imagine your spleen growing with white light while imagining the feeling of what you want. So say, for example, you want a car. Imagine yourself in that nice car while you're white. Imagine your spleen. Find out where your spleen is at in your body. It's not hard to find once you know where it's at. Focus on your spleen growing with white light and imagine yourself in that car. Focus on your spleen going with the white light and imagine holding hands with the love of your life. While you focus on the spleen. The spleen, you know, they actually say in medicine, they don't know what the spleen does. Interesting, right? They said the spleen has no use. And I know that because from a young child, I had a damaged spleen. Don't know how it got damaged, but my spleen was damaged. And the doctors looked at me and said, oh, don't worry, you don't really need it. I said, what do you mean I don't need it? It's in my body. Of course I need it. They're like, yeah, you can live without the spleen. It's like, really? So, you know, but the spleen turned back on later. So, and I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm saying that's what doctors say about the spleen. So imagine yourself with the spleen going with white light while you're in the car. Imagine yourself with the, remember, charge all your organs first. Go through the smiling down technique. Smile down until all your major organs. Then perform this technique right here. Very simple internal alchemy. Very simple internal formula, right? You can do formulas and potions inside your body. This is a potion or formula you can do inside your body, okay? So smile down into all your major organs and then imagine your spleen glowing with white light and imagine you in the middle of what you want in your life. Imagine yourself walking in the new house you want with your spleen glowing with white light. It will magnetize to you. This is 4th dimensional magic. In the new vibration of the 4th dimension, you will not need to use physical earth, physical air, physical fire, physical water. You can, right? But you don't need to. You can use the elements within. You can use the elements within your body. Just learn to attach it to an earth element. Okay? Yes, your blood is the earth element. But there's no need to write. If you get real good at this, you don't even need to write your spell out. Now, some people love the power of practicing rituals. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm still going to perform rituals. I just don't do them as much anymore. I love enjoying rituals. I just don't do them as much anymore. Because I've learned another secret. I've learned a different way. And I'm trying to give you guys the basic overall understanding of that way. Now, if you're on my Patreon, you guys know about other internal formulas I gave y'all. And I do have something coming up for y'all. Matter of fact, this is going to be dealing with how much of the human body is made up of stardust. What if you had your own magical dust in your body to take this thing to the next level? Right? But that's for Patreon members. So once again, last time I mentioned this, sit down by yourself, charge all 5 of your organs. Remember, your spleen is the earth element. Imagine your spleen growing with white light while imagining what you want. This is how you magnetize what you want in this new reality. Using the innerverse, using the internal, everything you need is within. Now, if you really get good with charging your organs in your body, they vibrate differently. The organs start to vibrate differently, and what starts to happen is you start to give off a frequency. This frequency starts to deal with your DNA. So you can uncap certain levels of DNA And this technique, in an advanced version, they tell you this stuff. That is eventually this will have an effect on your DNA by having your organs charged. So this is very powerful to understand. All right. So that's my slides, family. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's get to some Q&A. So we talked about some major key points in there. Okay. Some major key points in there that you guys need to understand, because a lot of people love working with the elementals. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you guys don't know the full outcome of why this stuff is needed. Okay. Now you guys have the understanding of why this stuff is needed. What humanity needs is love and peace. A car has never brought anyone happiness. That's true. But we got some people in here that love, because nothing wrong with, I actually used to be one of those people that think that you have to be a poor, righteous teacher. I'm past that now. Even though I personally don't really care about none of that stuff, nice cars and nothing like that. I'm not going to tell nobody else to not go for those type of things. Because some people, that's what brings them. It may not bring you happiness, but it can bring you joy. Some people like nice things. I like nice things depending on what it is. Right? I'm the type of person I'm more like to see my daughter and my wife in nice things. So my wife want a new nice car, I'll get it for her, right? But me personally, I'm just an average person. I don't care about none of that. I get joy from growing my community, from growing my tribe, and seeing my family healthy and happy. That's where I get joy from. Ain't really nothing else in this world that gives me joy. You see what I'm saying? But some people love to dress nice. They love the nice cars. They love nice houses. And I'm going to tell you, nothing wrong with that. Get your nice car, get your nice house, whatever you like, family. I learned that as a magician, that you don't have to be a poor, righteous teacher. You know what I'm saying? You can actually still be spiritual and still have nice things in this world, because you're supposed to have wealth. You're born with a certain amount of wealth in your body. You're supposed to have wealth. That's part of you being alive. You're supposed to have nice things. All right. But thank you for saying that, though, family. Have you ever heard anything about people needing to move from California because of a natural disaster? There's a lot of natural disasters in California that were prevented, right, in my opinion, because I definitely knew there were some things happening. And I used to be one of those people as well, tell people, hey, don't live over there, move from over there, right? I'm gonna let people use their own intuition when they say those things, because some people, no matter what you say about Cali, they love California. You know what I'm saying? But if you pay attention, California and New York are sister states, right? They're a lot alike in a lot of ways. I had to get out of New York. I just didn't like where it was going. And some people had to get out of California. But I still have love for New York, because that's what New York raised me. And by New York, I'm talking about upstate New York, right? But the state of New York raised me. Okay. So that's my old stomping ground. That's where I'm from. I still have love for that place, even though I don't want to go back. I don't care to go back to New York. I have love for New York. But I would recommend people pick very wisely where they need to move. You know what I'm saying? Because, yes, there's a lot of things going down, family. A lot of things going down. I always tell people I moved to Texas for love, but I ended up finding out it was just the spirit that brought me here for a lot of other reasons too. I wanted my daughter to live in a better state. My family was already situated in Houston, so I came to Houston. I've been hit with one hurricane so far. It was crazy when it first happened, but I'm so thankful when it happened, because I learned so much, right? And now it's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, family. How can I time travel? Well, you can time travel through the fourth dimension. All time travel goes through the fourth dimension. But so in so many words, the first way you can do it yourself is by learning how to do it in your dreams. If you can't wake up in your dreams, you can never time travel. You gotta learn how to wake up in your dreams, family. And then you can just think about where you want to go. You can go there. What do you think about the cross of Thoth, or the solar cross? I think it's very powerful. A lot of people use it for different things. It's also can be considered the medicine wheel. If you look at it, you can draw the medicine wheel a lot like the solar cross or the cross of Thoth. Um, it's a symbol I see around me a lot, actually. But yeah, I think it's a very powerful symbol. You guys know about the solar cross. I talked about it in my book. I actually took it off of Amazon. About the 4D Ascension book. But I talked in there how you could take a carnelian stone, and you can actually draw the solar cross on the stone, and you have like something that can really engrave it real deep, or cut it real deep. You can actually cut the um, solar cross into the stone, and you can turn that into a solar stone. Okay. Let's see here. Dreamwise hit on different archetypes. How are Buddha? Let me see. How you are a Buddha and Panic is a Shiva. Are there other archetypes you know of? Yeah, everybody has archetypes connected to them. Everybody is connected to a divine being. Everybody. Am I back? Am I back? I think I'm back, family. I apologize. Yeah. The internet just went off for some reason. It's back on though. We good. We good money. All right. We good money, family. All right. I ain't want to leave y'all hanging like that. Thank y'all for waiting around. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for waiting around. That was so weird. So to go back to the original question, we are all gods and goddesses. Okay. And some of us are just not realized. So don't just look at me and say, oh man, Brother Joseph is a Buddha. No, you may be a Buddha as well. So even though Lord Indra was the first entity that ever really connected with me, you know what I mean? I've also had higher realizations as a Buddha as well. And that goes for everybody else. A lot of people on here are Buddhas as well. Okay. So you guys can ask some more questions if y'all want. So the elementals do not like innocent children too. No, they love innocent children. Matter of fact, they only come around 2 children. Okay. They only come around 2 children because they can trust children. They know children don't even have a concept to want to kill them or destroy them. So they may make themselves known to children, right? But as an adult who's been through things in life, they may not even want to come around you. You have to show them that they can trust you. You have to show them, because you can kill elemental. If they don't tap into their magic at the right time, they can be injured. You can severely injure one, yes. Or you can trap one. And an iron, I want y'all, it's always one crazy person that's going to try to trap us. I'm not going to say how to trap one. But yeah, they can be trapped. And they can be trapped in a way where they can't use their power. Somebody said, what are the 5 organs we need to focus on? I think we just went over those, family. The lungs, the kidney, the spleen, the liver, and the heart. The lungs, the spleen, the liver, the kidney, and the heart. All right? The lungs, the spleen, the kidney, the liver, and the heart. Those are the 5 main organs you need to focus on. Or you need to get the book by Montauk Chia, Fusion of the 5 Elements. That is where you can really see what that is, family, on a deeper level. Somebody said, yeah, he's dropping too much. Shut him down. I said, no, my internet did not just go out. What in the world? It's crazy because earlier today, my power was out. And that's another weird thing about living in Texas or Houston. Sometimes your power just go out. You know what I mean? So yes, sometimes you can have 3 higher selves. You can have 2 higher selves. Usually everybody has 2 higher selves. Sometimes you can have 3. Depending on, and by higher selves, we talking about the beings that made your soul. Somebody made your soul. All right. Somebody literally formed your soul. I don't want to say they made your soul, but they formed the aspect of your soul so you can come down here. So you come from the overworld. From the overworld, you come down to, let's say, your spirit guides or your spiritual parents, whatever you want to call them, your higher self. You become one with them. They take you and form you into a thought form. That's what humans are. They're just thought forms of the gods. But you are a part of them and they're a part of you. That's how that works. Straight into the inner elements and master them, or do we need to go through the physical ones first? You can go through the. I'd rather a person go through the inner elements before they go to the outer elements. But the first thing I told y'all is to make sure your mind right. All right, so practice the elements, but at the same time, make sure you're practicing being a more of a positive, better person. That's important to make the energy work better. All right. That's important. All right. Any new insights from the dragons, brother Yosef? Well, I did have Dragon Magic 103 coming out, family, but as I was creating it, I'm missing some very important information that I wanted to give to y'all. I don't know what happened to my textbook. I mean, my notepad. It's almost like somebody stole it from them. So I'm still thinking about putting Dragon Magic 103 out. Yeah, it may have to wait till later in the year until I get this information, because that's some information I had to put in there. Right. So we'll see. In the meantime, we could definitely talk about other things. All right. Do you need a matured body to be considered a Buddha? You don't need a matured body, you need a matured mind. All right. Buddhas act a certain way. All Buddhas are teachers. All of them. So you need to understand, if you are a Buddha, then you need to have a certain type of mindset. You need to master your emotions. You can't call yourself a Buddha and you can't control your anger. You can't control your frustrations. Or if you believe that you're going to be a Buddha as the way you are, you can't be a Buddha like that. You have to transform. And you ain't got a lot of time to transform. So transform now. If you don't transform, then some people just ain't going to make it. The gods don't care how much magic you do, how much spirituality you do. You know, anybody can die from anything. If you in the way, you in the way. As we move up higher to these higher dimensions. Some people take 15, 20 years to get over one thing. And I'm telling you, as a person who's some people take a long time to get over stuff. They even deal with half of the stuff I deal with. And they can't get past one thing that they struggle with. It's because they really don't want to change on the inside. That's what I understand. They really don't want to change. They want to be accepted as they are. That's dangerous, man. Dangerous. Okay. So you have to change, family. And it's going to change the mind. I got over depression, which is one of the worst things you can deal with, besides probably being addicted to drugs. I wanted to kill myself. I was depressed. I was really bad. I had it bad, man. And if I can get past it, anybody can. I can see my internet getting weak again. I'm not sure what that is. But we're going to answer a few more questions. We're going to keep it moving, all right? So I want everybody to understand that. Okay? When will the medallions be back in stock? So if you guys don't know, I said it in my last live stream, certain medallions is not coming back. So I'm not going to do, these will always be available. I'm actually going to put some more of these up maybe tonight or tomorrow. This is my everyday. I wear this every day. This is the I got so many names of medallions I'll be forgetting. This is the Divine Radiance medallion. Divine Radiance medallion, family. All right. I shrunk it down, put a clear coat on it. These will always be available. I'm getting rid. I will have the Lord Ganesha medallion available. But it's a lot of medallions that's not coming back. That was my first phase of it. I have new ones coming out this year, family. New medallions. So if you got some of the OG medallions, shout out to you. Thank you for the support. Right? Of the creations. But I have new creations coming out this year, and I'm trying to take those medallions to the next level. All right. So new ones will be coming out probably as soon as February, if everything goes well. Okay. Maybe the end of this month, top of February. Let's see here. Apparently, there's a new virus in China, and a Pope opened up a holy door in the Vatican today. I remember you saying you saw Jen at the Vatican. So I'm wondering, what's your thoughts? Yeah, the Vatican is definitely extremely magical. I'll say this: nobody really knows what the Pope is doing. We can assume that we understand and know what rituals and stuff he's doing. Nobody really knows what he's doing. And that, by the way, that wasn't really Lucifer's tomb that he opened. Not Lucifer as people think of Lucifer, right? You know what I'm saying? But boy, the Christians on the internet, they took it and ran with it. You say that word Lucifer, and people gone with it. Even though when people do study, they realize Lucifer is not Satan. So why are people so scared of Lucifer? You know what I'm saying? I try to put out the video and help people. But with that being said, yes, he's doing these rituals. Let him do the rituals. Nothing can affect your reality unless you wanted to. You see what I'm saying? Nothing can affect your reality unless you want it to. Let me rephrase that. When bad things happen in the world, you can either go to the top with it or go to the bottom with it. You can make it work for you or make it not work for you. All right, very important to understand. The last big virus that hit the planet, my life got better. Some people's life got worse. It all depends on where you at in your life and what you're trying to do with your life. Right? Very important to understand. So I could go in deep and talk about that, but it was so many people out there already talking about it. I said, the information's out there. But the truth is, nobody really knows what the Pope is doing. Right? Nobody can stop these people from being evil or doing what they do. You got to focus on what you're doing. And that's why I'm on here today to do this class, this information, so you guys can focus on what you're doing. Very important to understand, family. Let's see. How is it working with elementals? You said that you're working with brownies. What have you learned? Okay, very, very important. Very, very important to understand. So, so brownies are making me get past the idea of what I think about mushrooms. The brownies, right? So what I've been learning from the brownies is a lot of things about the fungi kingdom. Okay, the brownies, and it's crazy because I've been dealing with the gnomes for so long, and the gnomes never really talk about mushrooms like that. But the brownies is taking me into a whole nother science about mushrooms. Whole nother science. And how actually that the most special of planets have mushrooms on them. All planets, of course, don't have mushrooms, but the most special of planets have mushrooms on them. And they're giving me a lot of stuff I want to talk about in future lectures and future videos. But I would say the main thing that they're giving me, the brownies, is they give me a lot of information on the fungi kingdom, right? And I say, hey, people take mushrooms in earth and people, they lose it sometimes. They lose it. And they're pretty much telling me is that they just don't know how to take mushrooms. They don't understand the mushroom. And they're telling me that there's new mushrooms that people are going to start finding out very soon. Brand new mushrooms that nobody never heard of before are going to start popping up all over the world. And these are all signs of the elemental kingdom merging with the physical world, which I already knew what was going to happen. We're definitely going to start seeing more elementals, and we're going to merge with their worlds. They'll become easier to access, by the way. So yeah, that's what I've been learning from the brownies and a few other things that I don't want to talk about right now. But if I had to pick one thing, the main thing has been about mushrooms, the brownies. Like their clothes are literally made out of mushrooms. Their clothes, and they're little tiny little things too. And man, they really put the gnomes to shame. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I got from gnomes was a little bit of stuff about crystals, about metals. You know what I'm saying? But when I get to the brownies, they teaching me a lot about the mushroom kingdom. And these are the entities who I associate with Smurfs. They're not the Smurfs, even though the Smurfs are real. They're not called Smurfs though. The brownies are not the Smurfs, but they're very close to what you can be considered a Smurf. Right? But once again, this is why I tell people, if your mind ain't right, people only going to think this is silly stuff. Very important to understand. So that's what I've been learning from the brownies. And also, I talked about how if you see a grouping of mushrooms in your yard or something like that, you're going to start to see a lot of dragonflies immediately. Once again, if you start to see a grouping of mushrooms, you're going to start to see dragonflies, which is a very good sign because dragonflies can be dragonflies, but also fairies. You're getting into the fairy kingdom now. And fairies pose as dragonflies a lot. They can literally shape-shift the air fairies. Some water fairies, but mostly the air fairies. They can actually turn themselves, because all fairies, by the way, if you don't know, are not just have wings in their back. Do you know an elf is a fairy? You know what I'm saying? We call it an elf, but it's a fairy. It's one of the fae people. So, dragonflies are a very good sign. Very good sign that you're dealing with some elemental energies. They're actually one of the signs to let you, if you see mushrooms on your land, or your area, mushrooms and dragonflies, that's a guarantee that you got some elementals running around there. A guarantee. I remember when we purchased our land, I had astral traveled over there. Usually I don't see nothing to be dark, but one time I astral traveled, I met a gnome, and he was telling me that he was upset that I cut the trees down. I'm fast forwarding the story, and I apologized. I said, "Look, man, I really don't want to offend you. I want to work with you. I want to be one." I said, "I'm not trying to, I don't want to offend you. I said, you see that tree over there? We call it the fairy door tree. We left that tree for y'all." And he pretty much was like, oh, he's like, forget that tree. You know what I'm saying? What about my other trees? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, look, I apologize. I said, can I do something for you? I heard you guys love elderberries. He said, oh, if you plant more elderberries here, that'd be great. If you plant more elderberries here, that'd be great. We need more elderberries in this area. I said, I can do that. I said, I can plant elderberry seeds and let elderberries grow here. I said, I'll plant them all over. And he was fine with that. And now if I would have pissed him off, something negative would have probably started happening on the land. You see what I'm saying? He probably would have started causing weird stuff to happen. Let's see here. Meaning if you weren't a potent daydreamer growing up and it slowly toned down. What's the meaning of that? You might need to reopen your third eye. You might need to reopen your third eye, family. Someone said this technique is in the Montauk Chia books. Correct. Yes, but the part about the spleen is not in there. The spleen is in there, but when I'm telling you guys to focus on your spleen to attach the fourth dimensional stuff to you, that's not in his book. He doesn't tell you to do that. I'm telling you to do that. But smiling down technique is in the Montauk Chia book, yes. And that's what you guys can do when you come, as you grow in your magician, as a magician, you actually can merge sciences together. So me understanding the earth element, the strongest earth element in your body with the spleen, this is 4 or 5 years ago, I started practicing internal alchemy, and I started using, in my meditations, I would manifest things I wanted while focusing on my spleen, and I noticed things start manifesting very fast. Very fast. So when the time is right, I always want to share that with you guys. So everybody who gave me donations, thank you very much. I hope I see everybody's donation. Don't get mad at me if I don't. I just became a Reiki master, and the energy feels great. That's dope, family. That's powerful. Conspiracy Link, thank you for the donation as well. CPG Mail. It just disappeared. CPG Mail, thank you for the donation. Oh, I see it right here. Meaning, oh, okay, I already answered that question. I answered that question. So thank you guys for your patience on me coming on here. I'm definitely in the future going to be coming here a lot more. I know I say that a lot, but I purposely had kind of went behind the scenes in 2024. I was working on a lot of things, getting a lot of things done, and it was a good year in 2024. Now I'm going to start coming back out on YouTube. Okay, that's my goal this year. So I'll be on here on my YouTube channel a lot more, family. All right, and we're going to focus on this spirituality and this magic. Maleficent taught us about that. Leave it be. Maleficent. Yes, that was a good movie. Can we jump straight into the inner elements? Okay, I answered that question. I remember answering that question. Thoughts on the Federation of Light presently hovering our planet? Well, you can call them two names, the Galactic Federation, or you can call them the Federation of Planets. They cool with either one, right? But yes, there are ships already here in the skies, and the government knows about it. Once again, there are thousands of Federation ships on Earth currently in the skies. When I astral travel, they are everywhere. They don't bother nobody. They're very high, way beyond where we fly at. They're way up in the atmosphere, but they're just sitting there. And I think they're sitting there waiting on something else to get here. Whatever they're waiting for. I don't know their, everything they do, but they're definitely waiting on something, a perfect time. you know. And all the ships don't look the same, which got me thinking that it ain't just the Federation. They must got some other people they're linking up with that's going to present themselves to the world. It's just a matter of time. Whenever they do it, you know, because hopefully President Trump is crazy enough to tell the people that ETs are real and they're here without slickly saying it. You know, they've been slick the way they've been saying it, but they pretty much admitted to it already. So it's funny because I want to go back and it's funny. I got a bunch of screenshots on my phone for all the so-called spiritual people. You know, some people I can't call out because they big teachers on YouTube, but a lot of people who actually downplayed ETs. Yeah, I know all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Who thought ETs were spookism and weird and crazy, and it's weird stuff, and it's not real. ETs are not real. That's kid stuff, the play stuff. Yeah, I heard everybody say it. So, and I want to see what people gonna say when they pop up. The government already admitted to it that they're real, right? You know, it ain't nobody coming to save you but yourself. That's true. Even these ETs, when they show up, they can help, but they can't save you. They can't save you. You got to understand that. You got to understand that, family. Let's see here. Have you seen Childhood's End? Yes, I have. Incredible TV show. If you guys haven't seen it, Childhood's End is very, very powerful. Very powerful movie. Very powerful movie. So I think everybody for donations just coming in. I just deleted one. I don't talk about stuff I talk about on my Patreon channel. So if you're on my Patreon, you ask stuff about the Patreon channel. I don't talk about that type of stuff. That's a Patreon members only. And if you're on the Patreon, you should already know the answer to those things. But thank you for the donation anyway. Hey, do you like the flower of life symbol for a pendant? It feels like joyful vibration to me. Also, Roger Martin mentioned you doing a show. Yeah, that's my newfound friend, brother Roger Martin. Really good brother, man. Really good brother. So yeah, we may do something in the future. Shout out to brother Roger. Shout out to brother Roger Martin. He actually came down to the cyber sorcery event. So shout out to brother Roger Martin. Really down to earth, really cool brother. You've been teaching me a lot lately, actually, about my setup and the right cameras and teaching me a lot about that stuff. So shout out to the brother. Brother Joseph, can you give us a grand rising and night prayer? A grand rising and night prayer? I recommend speaking to Anabacoic. I recommend saying a divine world prayer, the Anabacoic, or you can say the Gayatri mantra. You can say that before you go to bed. You can say it in the morning. The Gayatri mantra is another one. And that's easier to learn because it's a lot shorter. So I recommend using that. So you can say that, and that's very powerful. People use the name Lucifer instead of Satan. Yeah, they do. I think some people just use it out. They don't really understand. But if you're a Christian or a religious person, I don't even get mad at that. I expect you to use it. You know. Once again, y'all, there's information in books and there's information not in books. I don't get fascinated no more by a person that got a lot of book information. I don't get fascinated by that no more. I'm to the point now where I find in magic, at least metaphysics, I find repeating things in books. Now, I'm not downplaying books. Don't think I'm downplaying it, because people misquote me all the time. I'm not downplaying books. Read books, get information. That's how I got to where I am. But what I'm saying is it's going to come to a point. If you're practicing spirituality, everybody ain't going to come to this point. But if you're practicing spirituality, it's going to come to a point where the books ain't going to do it for you. You're going to be forced to go to a higher version, and that's going to be the astral plane. and go to get the books up there and the schooling up there. And that's going to really challenge your psychology and challenge your mind. Because you're going to hear a truth that you ain't going to be able to believe. It's going to really challenge you, family. All right. Let's see here. I'll answer a few more. A few more questions in here. Somebody said, get with Uncle Hanky. Yeah, shout out to Brother Hanky. Yeah, he when I first moved to Houston, he contacted me to do something, but I was like 2 days in Houston. I was so busy, and we just never got back around to doing nothing. So, but shout out to him. He wanted to come to get together and do a video on Likalea, you know, because he found out some dope information about it. So, but yeah, very powerful. Shout out to Brother Hanky. Shout out to everybody who wants to do, you know, who've been contacting me, especially last year. I shut down. I didn't really come around a lot at all. I was working on a lot of things. And that's why I tell you guys this, because I want you guys to know, even I got to shut down and work on myself and work on life sometimes. It's okay. Do it. You know, get away from the world a little bit. And, you know, because I come on YouTube, y'all, it's not really about entertaining people. You know what I'm saying? I come on here because I want to see people grow and elevate. You know what I mean? So I knew when I told people I'm not focusing on the dark side no more. I knew people. So a lot of people start watching my videos. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's cool. You know, I'm here to help people that's trying to grow and evolve. That's all I care about. Trying to give y'all the right information. Let's see here. Peace, bro. I'm driving home from work and caught you. Feathers up, still up. Conscious Cat. Shout out to you, family. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Man, why does my thing keep going back like that? You don't have to kill your level self, but let your higher self be the master of your reality. But in order to become your higher self, if your higher self is going to be the master of your reality, you have to become that. And in order to become your higher self, you cannot be your current self. So I definitely try to kill my old self. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to destroy who I thought I was. Right? I'm trying my best to destroy that part of me. Let's see what time we got. An hour and 30 minutes. Man, I ain't gonna have you on here 2 hours like I used to. No, I practice spiritual hygiene. You know, I cut it. I don't do a lot of hours. I give y'all what y'all need. I let y'all marinate on it, and we come back. Do you know about Afro-Brazilian practices? I've heard of a lot of different practices, but those things are more dealing with people who deal with their ancestors. You know, I love people. I love magic that's based on ancestral worship and ancestral magic. But I've learned as a magician, the stuff y'all read in books is just stuff that people learned themselves. Right? That's all you're learning. You know what I'm saying? So if you study Chaos Magic by Phil Hine, you're just learning his variation, his version of magic. You're copying what he's doing, which is fine. But eventually your goal is to get off on your own and learn magic. I said to Anna McCoy for 30 minutes while staring at a candle flame. I astral projected and saw heaven's gates. I believe you 100%, family. That's powerful. That's powerful. Killing your lower self is possible, I assume. So is duality real then? Okay, so duality is definitely very real. But when we could talk about killing your lower self, we're literally talking about putting your foot on his neck. Because you still need, in order to live in the world, you still need an ego to a certain extent. But you have to be your higher self. Right? So the goal is to get away totally from the ego and only use it like it's like a pet, or I don't want to say it like that. Use it as like a use the ego as a mask you got to put on. So, for prime example, if you are in your spirituality, your higher self, and you come around a family reunion, right, and you know your family reunion is not going to have no evolved spiritual people there talking about nothing spiritual, you got to put your mask on. Use the ego as a mask to put on to become the person that your, you know what I'm saying, that your family know. Put that mask back on, and then when you're done, take the mask off. That's what I do. That's what I do, family. What's going on in Jamaica with all the murders? I'm not sure. I haven't really focused on all that in Jamaica. But y'all see how 2025 started off. They're trying to get chaos going from the beginning. Now there's so supposedly there's a new thing happening in China that could come over to the U.S. And I'm saying thing on purpose. There's a new thing that's happening in China that could be coming to the U.S. What a coincidence. So everybody, this is the perfect time to go back to those old videos I told y'all about and get your stuff stack up on the right stuff, because you never know if another lockdown may come. I told y'all we're right at the place where it's going to get better, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. We have a little dark period before it gets better, and this could be that dark period, right? So we could have 2 years of something, and then it gets better. Either way, hold on to your boots. Be grateful that you are in this timeline, because this is the right timeline. We're not in the wrong timeline. You know, this is the right time. I don't care what nobody say. In my timeline, I'm manifesting what I want. I don't care what the world does. I'm going to become what I want to become. I'm supposed to be in this timeline. So are you. You're supposed to be in this timeline. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want you guys to go back and watch it and, you know, study it. And we'll come on here some more and drop some more information. If you guys want more of me, you can go to my Patreon. I'm Brother Yosef on Patreon. There's a New Life Tools at Brother Yosef. I'll put it below the link eventually. Also, what else? I don't have any shows or anything coming up right now, but if something happens in the future, I'll let you guys know. But still, New Life Tools is the best way to email me. I'm not doing any consultations personally right now, but sometimes I answer questions when people email me sometimes. But the only way to get a consultation now is to be part of the Patreon. The only way to get a consultation. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Keep your eyes open. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to evolve. All right. And I thank you guys for watching, family. I feel like I had something else I want to tell you guys. Oh, one last time, the tribal members, the CTRE Codex. Make sure you get that if you're a tribal member. That's for free in our private network. Go get that. Patreon members, I will be doing a follow-up to this internal formulas, a more advanced version. And yes, I thank you guys for watching. And I will talk to you guys in the next live stream. All right, family? I enjoyed myself. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love.